afternoon all. We've just come off in my father's boat again to get the low water. Just running along the coast a couple of miles to the south, so then we'll drift back this way with the tide. Just shooting the herring nets again, a couple of fleets, and hopefully we'll get a few herring. If you look, the water's a lovely colour, so hopefully there'll be a few herring today. Be nice to see a few again. There's a few anglers fishing on the beach. Let's hope they're getting a lot less weed like I did the other day. That's not so bad. I had to pack in. That's like reeling in a bloody otter. There was so much weed on the gear. Let's hope these few guys actually get a bit of fish instead. That weed is horrendous. Well, that's the down over the side, and we're now shooting the herring nets out. They're all nylons now. We took the mono nets out of the boat because the fish is spent and you don't get hardly anything in the monos, so we've got a couple of fleets of nylon herring nets now. They only 2-inch mesh, so you can catch the spents in them, but the 2 1/8 monos, you don't get no spents in them. They're all a bit small hull nets to catch big herring, and then big net, there ain't no big herring about. What's that? See, we're shooting the gear at nearly 6 knots. That's the speed, and it's going over lovely, flying over the side. So it's easy at 6 knots. It's a lot easier than doing it by hand and windmilling. That's the thing of the past. No one want to do shoot them by hands anymore. We just use a net shoot. That's a lot easier. Well, that's nearly gone. The last net is now going over, and there go the down. That's 20 nylon nets out. Good sized fleet. Each net is about 30 yards long. So it's about 600 metres of nets out, really. 20 nets, 30 yards. Well, there's not a lot showing on the lie box. There look like a few sprats there and there, but I ain't seen no herring in the water. See, there's a few sprats coming through, but there's no lines of herring at all. I don't know if I'm going to get anything, but I ain't called the lie box for nothing. Sometimes you get a few fish on here, or get a few fish in the nets, and the fish finder say nothing. But time will tell when we haul, we'll find out. There ain't looking a lot of herring on here at all. But the herring nets are fishing lovely. They're virtually, there's a slight kink in them, but the down's virtually straight in from the beach. So they're fishing lovely. Well, it ain't a too bad day today. There's a northwesterly breeze. That's probably west-northwest, like 15 mile an hour. It's still a slight northerly roll in the water, not a huge amount. So you see the odd northerly bit of swell coming through, but ain't a huge amount. Windmills are turning nicely. But then all these cormorants today, I ain't seen any cormorants. Last few trips has been full of them. But still see our little friends on the bank. Where are they? There they are. See the seals on the bank. Plenty of them there. But there's no cormorants. Can't see anywhere. And what's on the fish finder? Look, a bit of fish on the fish finder now. But they look all sprats to me. They don't look like herring. The only way to definitely tell is when we haul the herring nets, we'll see if there's any fish in them, but they all just look like blobs. When you get herring, they're normally like zigzaggy lines, what you say look like seagulls. They all look like sprats to me. The tide isn't finished yet, we've still got a knot of tide, but I'm just going to have a look on the end, see if there's any fish there. So just got the down in the boat. Oh, I think I can see a couple. I can see a couple in the water. See any fish there? Luckily I got my assistant. Oh, there's one. And there's another one. Oh, there's a few herring there. See? The fish finder said there was nothing there, and there is. Bloody lie boxes, isn't they? So there's a few fish sitting in there. Let's hope we've got a few. Well, we pulled one of them herring out. That's typical, isn't it? We took the monos out because they're bigger hull nets, because most of the fish were spent. And the first fish we pull out is a nice heron. That ain't spent at all. It's a nice plump little thing. That's how it go, innit? Sod's law. You take the big old nets out because most of the fish are little, then you get big fish. Them small nets don't hold a bit better heron very well at all. They fall out a lot of them, so that's why you change the mesh size to suit the fish.
Rocks of fish you can't go in.
Yeah. Well, we're now going to clean a few, see how it goes. There's a few nice heron here. Oh, it's a nice load today. I think we might have to run these. There's too many to pick out. But we'll clean a few out and see how we go. I think we have to run these, haven't we? Most of them are spent heron though. There ain't no size to them. But even though the fish finder said there was nothing there, there seemed like there's quite a few. They're only thin old spent. Pull through these 2-inch nets easy. A big heron fell out of the net. When that happened, the old man's devastated. I think he'd rather me fall over the side and lose one of them big heron. He hated it when that happened. Swimming the other way, mustn't it? I just felt the net pull. I think that was tangled up around one of them pellets, so it hadn't fished right. And something just went. Never using sunk nets, you always seem to. Well, never using sunk nets, they always seem to tangle up here or there. And look, there's no fish now, so that's obviously what happened. One of the pellets were tangled up and that lifted the net up. Then we're getting a few more, little old white. Not what we want. Still a few more heron now. But most of these little spent old buggers. Tiny little old things really. And then you can see the old seagulls trying to get them out the nets as well. They don't mind the free feed. Nice food really, isn't there? Must be 30 stones. Yeah. So we're cleaned half a net and we've probably got about half a stone, I imagine. These little old heron don't weigh nothing compared to like the big autumn heron. See, look.
Cormorants out there?
What's that?
Is that a string of cormorants out there?
Yeah. Oh, bugger. Fell through. Not a huge amount, just a nice amount to pick out really. Not as many as I thought, do you think so? That bit of root on the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know where it's dropped.
See the thin note near the end of the net. Oh, that's a better one. That's a nice plump heron, that one is. Put him in the selected large box. That's one net hauled. We hauled one net for a few selected large. And probably about a stone, 3/4 of stone little heron. Problem these little heron, they probably weigh half the amount to what a big heron weigh in the autumn. So that's twice as much work for the same weight. Because probably a third of the body weight is roe in the autumn. Obviously, when they got no roe in them, that clearly in. Couple fell out. A few of the better ones have fallen out of the gear. An 1/8 of an inch net size make a lot of difference. 2-inch nets hold these little spent heron well, but they don't hold the nice full heron very well. All through the gear, the links. Oh, was I? In the gear from top to bottom. Quite patchy, isn't it? Seem to be. Should get like 3 or 4 or 5 together, and then nothing for a little while, and then 1 or 2. That's a better plump fish. Another nice one. Well, we hauled 2 nets and cleaned them. We've got about 3 stone little herring and about 20 decent sized herring. We're now going to have to run them because it's just too much to clean at sea. We'll be drifting miles away if we keep on picking them out. Well, we'll haul the nets now. There was more than what we thought. There must be 40 stone there. That's a nice amount. I'm happy with that. Just got to go and clean them. I think my Saturday night's going to be much fun now after cleaning all this lot. Even though we cleaned out probably a box of herring in the first couple of nets as well. But there's plenty of fish there, more than enough. That's plenty amount. We don't want any more than that. All the prices will go to rubbish on the market. Well, it's now starting. We just hauled them nets. It's now starting to get dark and we're now going to go them. Won't take us long to get them. Yeah, just haul the herring nets and then it got dark very quickly. The nights are pulling out nicely though. But roll on the summer. Then again there'll be no herring then. That'll all be bloody bass and mackerel and other bits and pieces. Can't wait. We should really put the nav lights on by now. They're starting to get dark. But I made a bit of a balls up last time we went. Because the mast is, you can lower the mast and that fell down. And that slipped out of my hand and I dropped it and that banged on the boat and that must have knocked the little festoon bulbs out of the lights. They need unscrewing and put them back in again. The old chap has reminded me twice. He obviously liked it. I think then again, a father of kids, if you can get a bit of payback, that's worth his weight in gold, isn't it? I'm sure I was a little sod when I was a kid, played him up like gold. Finally back on the beach. A little bit of northerly lift in the water, as you can see. Hopefully we'll be alright though. I'm sure we will. Now I'll duck something under the tractor and we'll be pulling it out of it. Probably a bit dark now, you can probably hardly see it, but that's the boat being launched on the trailer. There's some good swells coming in now. Good bit of northerly. I've been in northerly rolling the water last couple of years. I mean last couple of days, what am I talking about? We're on the beach now, safe and sound. Well, that's us finally all finished and cleaned up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boxes. That's more than enough for anyone. I'm happy with that. 9 boxes is enough. Get too much more than that and they're worthless on the market. So that's a nice amount to have. Shame it weren't in the middle of the night we finally stopped cleaning.